Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It's four ends.
And we are back. It sounds so empty. It sounds so empty now.
Yeah, it is.
Four ends. Okay, well, we'll go back. We'll get used to it, I guess.
I think I need to get another fiance and then it can be valid.
You could just say the former fiance.
That's a bit long. It's a mouthful. That's what she said.
But I'm doing. Yeah, we're back. We're back, boys and girls. We're back.
I have this pain in my neck.
Your neck?
Yeah, it's so painful. Like down here. Did you sleep
funny?
It started in the middle of the day, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm at my wit's end, honestly.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So there's that.
Life.
But we're basically talking about my favorite topic, sex.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about
you and me.
But yeah.
I don't know if sex is the word though. I don't know if it's sex or if it's
I mean, come on,
abuse.
it's sex.
Okay. I mean,
you know what? You know, all I want to say about this documentary is white people be white people, and that is just what I mainly want to say. I was so happy that I did not see...
a coloured insight.
No, there was a coloured.
Well, there was a coloured. Yeah, but okay,
not
a black.
Not of our hue.
Not a black insight.
Not of our hue, literally, not our kind of coloured. Because, child, like, I just said to myself, anyways,
this is some bullshit.
Honestly, and do you know what it is? Yeah, do you know what it all boils down to? Yeah, I feel like, and I've said this so many times, when you live in a world that you're not oppressed, like a world where you are not oppressed, like you have so much free time to like think of and participate and do
and partake in madness
bullshit that like would never cross the mind of people that had real problems. That's just, I'm sorry, that's and
just have, and honestly, and have real problems. And honestly, like I want to even say, obviously, like whatever, but like, even if you were of a certain demographic, like if you want to say, oh, not all white people, fine, if you were a certain white, that's like poor or working 3 jobs or whatever, you too, you do not have the time nor the means. You use it as in, this wasn't even in my sphere of life. Like I didn't even have any recollection or any knowledge of this happening or a scandal breaking, anything. Like I was so deep in
I'm
oppression,
so far
removed from this,
this crap,
that the only way that this could possibly come into my world is by Netflix.
Honestly, and I'm telling you the gospel truth. Like this is literally, there's some things I see white people do and I'm like, yeah, you lot only do this because you're not oppressed. Like can you imagine going to, every time I watch these shows where people are like, you know, so we decided we wanted to change, so we moved to Devon, or we moved to not Bermondsey, that's like south, but you know, all these obscure parts of the country, right? And it's like, you lots can do this because you're not oppressed, so you can move to wherever you want. The world is your oyster. You can go to work and who you are in the office is who you are at home. Like it's so why wouldn't you have all the free time to fucking go and be doing this bullshit? And that's what
nonsense. It comes. And because this is extra astronomical,
like
extraordinary.
I'm so
like,
sorry.
Just nincompoopy. Like it's actually just fuck shit. Like literally, if you don't understand what fuck shit is, watch this documentary, you'll get it. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know we have white listeners and stuff like that, but guys, I'm so sorry. Like call a meeting, right? Whatever meeting it is, you lots need to call it with your people and tell them, listen, guys,
fix up, look sharp.
I know we don't have oppression, but some of the shit we do is, even for us,
let's not oppress ourselves. Like, come on.
Even for you lots, this is mad.
This is crazy.
But basically, we are covering the documentary Orgasm Inc.
The story of OneTaste.
The story of OneTaste. And do you know what? I do love an orgasm. Who doesn't? Like, I'll have whatever she's having. Like, who doesn't love a good, like, you know, pleasure through your body? But like, I just feel like there's a limit. And
I feel like there's a time, there's a place.
Gwyneth Paltrow is next. She's very much next. I just want to say that. She does make
and do you know what? She features in this, and I'm glad that she does, because she is a hop, skip, and a jump from this fuck shit.
As in, she is one more workshop away from this bullshit. Because
she's a candle away.
Honestly, the coochie candles was one thing, but her sis, Better get back to acting quick before you're next.
Sort it out. I don't want to be gooped.
And closely followed by what's the other one's name? Poosh.
Badu.
Badu she's been like cancelled in my mind. Courtney,
Badu's in her own world.
She's in her own. She's Kourtney Kardashian. Kourtney has this Poosh wellness bullshit that she's doing, and all these like gummies.
Does she?
Yeah. You know, she's like gluten free, vegan.
I don't know that. Okay, that's the one. That one is the least. The only thing I know about the Kardashians is what has been thrust upon me by social media. Yeah, and I don't think that Kourtney's like stuff gets put out like that.
No. She's not as messy as her sisters, but she is a bit annoying. But she's the most likable of all of them, I think. Anyway.
The lesser of three evils.
Yeah, the lesser of.
How many of them? 5 evils, including the mum. 6 evils. The lesser of 6 evils.
But to be honest, I don't count Erykah Badu, not because she's a woman of color, but mainly because I just see her as someone that operates like on her own, in her own universe.
She does her own thing, and then we find out about it. Like I don't think she's trying to bring anyone into the
and
fold.
I don't see her as somebody that's on this earth, so there's no point like discussing it because like she's in her own
on another
world.
plane. Ask her.
And she can just stay there.
$3 and 6 dimes, fam.
Girl. So this documentary opens up at a conference, and it's like a OneTaste conference, and I really think that's a very good name for like a sex.
But it also could be ice cream.
Huh?
I said it also could be ice cream.
Well, ice cream could be many things.
Lick the lollipop.
There you go. Lil Wayne said what he said.
This episode, I'm not even going to say this documentary. This episode is made for you. Like, I don't even need to be here. Like, I can just see the glee in your eyes.
Literally. Like, honestly, guys, if you know me, there are 3 things that I love. Okay. Sex, food, and sleep. But in the reverse order. Sleep.
You love sleep more than sex?
I think so.
I don't know that, I would feel like your order would be
very
sex,
sleepy girl
food,
vibes.
and sleep. Yeah, you are, but like you can do without it for other things. Like, I don't see you as like, I don't know. I feel like it would be sex, food, then sleep. All of utmost importance, but that would be the order. Like all very close together.
I think food and sex are on the same level, but sleep comes first. I love sleep. Maybe it's just to get away from my problems, but sleep. Because I'm trying to think about after my wedding what was done more, and but you can't. That's not a fair comparison, because that you've been exhausted, you've been up for hours, you've been planning for months, years even. You've literally been like, of course you're gonna want to sleep after. I guess maybe like if I think
I'm talking about on a day-to-day basis. Life is cushy, everything's fine. They say to you, okay, you can do one of 3 things. You can either have sex, you can eat, or you can sleep. You're going to pick sex.
Yeah. Either way, they're the 3 things I love the most.
That's the Holy Trinity. God forgive me.
I say all this to say I'm not a hoe. Like.
What's that got to do with it? What's hoe got to do with it?
No. Because when someone's coming out and saying you love sex, like everyone's gonna be like, okay, Belinda Blinks, like.
Do you know what? Yeah, I had a patient one time. Yeah, and the surname was Spooner, and like all I could think was like James Spooner. And Toffee Apple Chew.
But I'm not crazy in these streets.
She's not an info. She's not an infomaniac.
Yeah, I'm not an info. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. You can be a hoe and not an infomaniac, and you can be an infomaniac and not a hoe.
Either way,
two things can be true, and 2 things can be false.
But I just love the activity. Mummy, don't listen to this episode. She don't listen to jack shit anyway. So.
I was going to say, does she know what the podcast is called?
One day she messaged me. She was like, oh, what's that your podcast called? And I was like,
whenever my mum asked me, I said, oh yeah, I'll send you the link. And I never send it.
I'm like, hon, go and sleep. Go and rest.
This was not for you, babes. Face your front. Go and talk to your mates.
So we're at this OneTaste conference, and we see different talking heads, and they're all discussing orgasms, and we meet Nicole Dodone, the founder. So we don't meet her in the sense that she's a talking head. We just meet her in the sense that she's introduced and we can see clips of her.
There is so much footage.
Too much.
As in, it's like, sir? Redact it.
Literally, redact it. So we meet Chris Koosley, and he's a former OneTaste member. And the best way to describe him is, if you've watched Little Britain, you know the...
Stop it.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying first. Because you know I'm fucking up. No, he even has the earring. Fuck off. You know I'm not lying. You guys know the one, the round, short, bold one.
What's his name? The one he's on Bake Off as well.
Yeah, I don't know, because he said something problematic, and I was just like, ugh. But then again, what do you expect from someone that acted Little Britain? And I'm sorry,
but Little Britain was in and of itself problematic.
That's what I'm saying. But like, it's my problematic fave. Like, I cry
The Office
laughing.
is my problematic fave.
Yeah, but I don't. Do you find The Office problematic?
No, well, I mean, there are scenes when Michael kissed Oscar.
No, I mean, but the thing is that I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like with something like Little Britain, you're taking the piss out of cultures and things like that, right? But with The Office, it's like everybody around Michael is normal.
Yeah, it's true. I get what you mean.
So it's like
his ignorance, and
it's his
he's oblivious
ignorance that
to
is that is. Yeah. So I don't.
It's not inherently problematic. It's like you're watching it like, eesh, I cannot believe you're saying this or thinking this, or
and
you're not condoning like, oh, this is a bad thing to say. Yeah, it's amazing.
But
you're saying like, this is really what you think.
Exactly.
And you're mad. No, I get what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Michael is my problematic fave, I would say.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, Chris says,
women and relationships were always a mystery to me. And I didn't understand how to like find a girlfriend, but I wanted to get laid. And that was like this like fly in the ointment, you know?
And it's like, I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't look at him and think, oh my gosh, why do you feel that? Like, why is that happening to you? I'm like, oh, okay. But you know what? I rate Chris because it could have gone incel, but instead it went sex cult, and for that I rate him.
And this is why I don't shame Chris for his feelings, because I feel like it is normal for you to crave intimacy and relationships and people, and if you are not like socialized in a certain way, or you're not on quote unquote a social like ladder or whatever,
or you're not socially, your features are not aesthetically
or as desirable or mainstream, I would say, then it's kind of like, okay, it's like the guy we did on that incels documentary we did, the guy that we were like, okay, he's a bit socially awkward, but he's a lovely guy, and like he would find the right person for him. When all you're surrounded by is like jocks and whatever, you feel like, okay, I'm not that person, therefore I'm not going to be, no one would want to be with me, and that's not the case. Like, there is somebody out there who is on your level where you guys were like, you're equally yoked, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's normal for Chris to be like, oh, like I really wanted someone, I just didn't think that I could get someone, and that is like, cool, Chris, I hear you, fam. It's absolutely fine. You didn't go and kill women. You just said, oh, rah, this is what I would like for myself. I hope to get it one day.
And you joined a cult, and that's fine.
And you joined a cult, and you got it. So, I mean,
who am I to judge?
Who am I but a girl on the internet?
So he heard about OneTaste and goes to some of their mixers and like really likes the vibe. So we see one of their events, and they have these boards where you have to write what an orgasm is to you, and all the employees are really happy and they all live together. So this is where you start to be like, okay, this is more than just like a group
or a workshop
or a job. Yeah, like it's actually like a cult. Because there's no reason to live with
it's like the WeWork thing. They all live together as well. That was giving cult vibes.
Yeah. So there's this online forum where people are talking about like all sorts of sexual exploits they've had working for OneTaste, and it's just like, right, like this is one giant orgy.
Yeah.
So now we learn about So is OM, and it stands for orgasmic meditation. So it's basically turning a sex practice into spiritual meditation. Yeah. And we see this clip of this woman. She's at like a conference, and it's like a demo. So she lays on her back, and like I can only imagine, and she's spread eagle, so I can only imagine that her coochie is in the
like facing the audience
in their view, right?
Yeah.
And there's a man like essentially fingering her and stroking
but more so
her
like
clit.
rubbing her clit than anything.
And stroking her
they're really focused on
and you know what, I wasn't
mad
at that,
because these niggas teach them.
I was watching the clip and I was like, I'll take one of what she's having. I don't mind. Like, the more men that learn where a clit is, the better. This is educational. I was on TikTok and this girl was talking about how her man broke up with her because he said that the clit was a myth, and she was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And
he broke up with her.
Yeah, that's a whole another episode.
He broke up with her.
Yep. Because basically, they'd been having sex for some time. She wasn't really like satisfied, so she decided to tell him, and she was like, "Yeah, like," and then he was like, "No, our sex is absolutely fine." And
course it
then
is.
she was like,
course it
no.
is to you.
And then he was like, oh, what do you want me to do? Like, touch your clit? And he said it in a joking way. And she was like, actually, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
And
literally
then
the
he
key
was
to
like,
life.
everyone knows that a clit isn't a real thing. Like, it's just something women
And
talk
she didn't break
about.
up with him at that point. She still allowed her to continue
And
that.
then
He would break up with her.
She was basically like, no, it's a real thing. And like, it would be really good that if you could find mine. And
Yeah.
then he got angry with her.
Okay.
And started texting and was like, why are you trying to embarrass me? Why are you trying to make me feel bad? Da, 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 da. And apparently he must have gone and spoken to his friends about this, and they were all like, you dumb bitch. Like, of course a clit is real. Like, what the fuck have you been doing all these years?
I love that.
And
Come
then
on,
he felt
man.
embarrassed
Hold your friends
by
accountable.
his friends clowning him, and so he broke up with her.
But that's even more stupid of a thing to do. Like, would you not be like, all right, cool, let me satisfy my girl and come back and tell the group chat, yeah, I'm that guy.
Guys.
Anyway, she dodged the bullet. To be honest, she's been shot bare times.
Yeah.
So she didn't really dodge it, but at least now she will never be shot again.
Exactly. She's like 50 Cent. So whilst this guy is like,
I am tired of
stroking
you. I'm tired.
the bean, flicking the bean, right? Nicole is narrating what is going on,
Yeah. But like in a spiritual way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
yeah, and then she, like, the woman orgasms.
And also, it's really clinical. She's
Yeah.
like, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And now what am I going to say next? Down, up. I was like, are we cha-cha slide or what is going on here?
Nothing would get me drier than this exercise, though.
I was
Maybe
like,
I'm not sexually liberated, but it
Yeah, I'm
would
just saying,
dry
how
me
are you
up.
in the mind space where you have an audio? I mean, to be honest, people like different things, but I guess you have to really get into a kind of space where you're not really there because, vagina to the wind, bare people in the audience, a random man all up on you, a random woman all up on you, narrating what's going on. Like, how you even...
It's too much.
It's too much, and it's also not enough.
Yeah. So there's not enough privacy.
Yeah, not enough privacy and too much
much
publicity.
Yeah.
I need less.
So Chris is saying this was called the stroke practice and it changed his sex game. And you know what?
Which, of course it would.
Yeah.
Because he knows where the clit is.
Okay. So different talking heads at this point are talking about how Ohm changed their lives and how they do it a lot and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? I don't mind.
I wonder what the difference between this Ohm thing is and like the whole tantric sex thing.
I was about to say, but tantric sex, from what I've seen, is more like, it's not the focus isn't on your clit.
Your genitals, yeah. It is more so about everywhere your sexual organs,
like it's meant to be an orgasm from like the spiritual connection and the proximity.
And just like touch and like different things, and that's true. That is the major difference, actually.
Yeah, but both practices would be, I would not mind.
Yeah. I don't think anything is inherently wrong with what they're doing. Like, if you man want to do your little Ohm and all that, cool, do that. Yeah. But there's just so much more to come.
So there's a lot of guys in the OneTaste house who are like tech guys.
And it's in San Francisco. Because literally when they said the whole tech thing, I was like, oh, it takes place in San Francisco. This makes so much sense. They couldn't have picked a better place.
Yeah.
Because stereotypically, tech guys don't get girls.
They don't get coochie, they wear short sleeve shirts and that's it.
And khakis and
wear
Birkenstocks.
I say all this and my dad is a tech guy.
Well, does he wear short sleeve shirts and khakis?
No, not the khakis, but in the summer he is known to wear a short sleeve shirt, and I've told him about this, but it's in their blood. It's in their blood. Okay. And my dad, I would say actually my dad dresses quite well for a man of his age, but
it's just a man of his age. I've seen some stylish 90-year-olds.
Okay, kudos to you. But a man of his age, that's an uncle. Think about uncles and how they dress.
They typically don't. They don't.
But he dresses well. But the only thing is that short sleeve shirt is in his blood. So hey, what can we do?
Just wear a t-shirt, fam. Like, if we're gonna do it, like, why are we doing that?
And then when you tell him, he'll start shouting at you. And he'll say, "It's how many degrees outside? You want me to wear?" I said, "Okay, sorry. Don't be angry."
But you know what? I and I've said this before. It's podcast. Believe in your source. Who am I? Do you know what I mean? Like what you like, love what you love. Yeah. Unless of course it's illegal, like short sleeve shirts. So
When they arrest him,
I
that's
just
his
feel like, do what
business.
you want, man. Who am I? Obviously, I don't
Who
like
am
it, and
I?
I'll tell you that. But do what you want. If you want to continue wearing them, wear them. I tried to help you. You didn't want to
Exactly.
listen. Wear them and be happy. I rate
Wear
it.
them and be happy. So we start to see a lot of footage and weird exercises, and they do this painting thing, and they paint each other naked, and there's all these weird workshops. So there's just so much footage of all the things they do, rolling
Just
around
random shit.
naked. Like, and you know, another thing is, guys, I'm really sorry to say this, but you people of a certain demographic and who know that you don't shower often, let's nip this in. Let me tell you about this TikTok I saw, right?
Oh no.
So this babe was talking about relationships. So she jumps on the TikTok and she's like, oh, get ready with me whilst I go to the gym and talk to you about my relationship. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, usually I swipe. But then the next thing I heard made me stay on, because I was like, I know you're fucking lying. She was like, yeah, I don't usually wear makeup to the gym, but I'm going out to see my friends immediately after. So I am putting on makeup now so I don't have to do it after the gym. So I listened because I wanted to hear when she would say, oh, I'm going to shower but not wash my face. And I was like, okay, that's still gross. I was thinking that's still gross, but like, at least she showered.
Okay.
It never came. And I was like, I went on the comments and everybody was commenting on the relationship stuff. And I was like, nah. Like,
So
sometimes I try not to comment on TikTok here because I know people get into beef and shit like that. But sometimes it's too much and I just have to say something. So I was like, this is wild. Not a shower in sight. And then she commented and she was like, oh, I don't even sweat at the gym. So it doesn't really matter. It's basically like me going for a walk to meet my friends. Why would I shower? And I was like...
So what did she do at the gym then? What, she was just on the treadmill for 15 minutes?
Even
and
if
then she
you were on the treadmill for 15 minutes, like, come on. And then I've seen other TikToks of all these gym babes who don't shower. Like, they'll tell you their day routine and they just don't shower. So
sometimes I'm like, okay, is it that we don't need to include every mundane thing? Like, I'm not going to be like day in their life, oh, I brush my teeth, I have like,
no,
it's just
but
assume they do those things.
They don't
but
shower.
in these situations, it's like, no, they actually do not shower.
Because the girls that shower, what they do is like, they'll show themselves wetting their sponge, and I can only hope they shower, and then they come out of the shower with wet, and then you'll next see them in the next clip with wet hair. But you know when someone doesn't shower because they don't, like, they have the same dry hair and they just push back their hair
like
and
nothing
do this.
has changed.
So yeah, when I saw these...
So imagine she says that to say, we're stereotyping, but let's just say statistically is a high likelihood that the showers aren't as frequent as one might wish, okay? And so knowing that you people are doing up painty, rubby, touchy,
all naked, all sorts of juices flowing, God help us. Ooh. So there's this OM video on how to, and there are a lot of promo videos like needed for the like
and what's his
OneTaste.
name? Chris is involved with producing this shit.
He quits his job.
He rose the ranks or whatever it is. He really was like promoted. He did his damn. Do you know what? The person I'm most happy for in this situation is Chris. Chris really found himself.
He found himself. He said, by hook or by cock, I'm gonna find myself. And boy did he.
By hook or by cock, I am going to find myself.
He quits his job and he basically works full time for OneTaste, filming their videos and stuff like that.
Imagine you're handing in your notice, and they're like, "Why are you leaving?" Oh yeah, I joined a sex cult and I do their videos. I'm sorry.
How do you even put on your CV that you worked at this place?
You don't. You fuck till you die.
I'd rather put like, I was like locked up for like
I had 2 kids.
years.
I was injured.
Literally. And then there's like this video on how to make a woman orgasm for 15 minutes. And like, hear me out. I love an orgasm as much as the next person. But
okay.
15 minutes.
I
like,
said,
come
what?
on.
Is
Come
everyone
the
jobless?
fuck on. No pun intended. Like, let's be real. 15 minutes.
Let's be honest. Let's be real. I was like 50. I'm sorry. And it was always 15. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, what are we starting a fire? Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Why are we rubbing clits for 15 minutes?
Bumping coochies, you're having a laugh. 15 minutes. I'm sorry, no.
I'm sorry, if you are in a state of orgasm for 15 minutes, is that sustainable? Can one die from that? I remember watching this, like, I don't know if it's,
There's absolutely no reason to be
a thing. And it's always 15 minutes. Is it that 40 minutes, 59, then it's like...
It just dies. I'm sorry, but nah, there's absolutely no reason to
It just sounds like a marketing tactic as well. Like 15 minutes is such a specific
But the thing is that even if it's not and it's real, I don't want it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm actually okay. Like, sometimes it's too
Maybe
much.
it's because you've not experienced it. Maybe you need to experience it, and then you truly know the value of a 15-minute orgasm.
I don't want to know. I really don't want to know.
I don't want to go there.
So, basically, we now get into how this company makes money. So there are all these conferences, and you have to pay to go to these conferences, and then there are the classes, and then there's membership, and you're making a shitload of money. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I keep wondering how I'm gonna be like financially, like have multiple streams of income, right? And I don't know why I haven't set up some crazy product to sell to these kind of people.
You have to. The thing is, these workshops, and I paused it because they showed the prices. The cheapest one was $195, yeah. The most expensive one was $36,000, yeah. And an annual membership, hold on to your seats, and if you're driving, pull over, yeah. The annual membership was $60,000 a year.
That's some people's salaries.
For what? For what? For what? Like, for what? What, for home?
To teach someone how to rub a clit.
Come on. If I shout.
So Ohm has caught the eye of Gwyneth Paltrow, and Nicole is Nicole Dedone is like on her podcast. They're doing some collabs together, and it makes sense. Like,
yeah, they are the same vibe.
Gwyneth, like, Nicole is what Gwyneth thinks she is,
or hoped to be.
And what she will soon be if she doesn't stop this bullshit.
If she doesn't stop the shit, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then we get introduced to Ellen Hewitt. So she wants to write about OneTaste because it's been blowing up. Mm-hmm. So she speaks to her mate about this, and her mate connects her with someone who was a customer or like one of the cult members. And this person actually says that they've had a really bad experience, which is different to what a lot of people say or have been saying about being in the OneTaste community. So some former members say Nicole is quite manipulative, and basically she wants you to say things that fit her narrative. Like, she'll be asking you, what is your ultimate goal? Like, one of them was talking about how she asked what her ultimate goal was, and this babe was like, oh, I want to be happy. And then she was like, no, what's your goal? Then she dug deep and she was like, I want a baby. And then Nicole's like, no, what's the ultimate goal? And then the woman was like, I want to have a session or something, which is a demo. They
call it pulling desires. Yeah.
And
this is the thing, they have, and they talk about it later, but they have all these random words that are real English words, but the meanings mean something different. It's like specific to this environment, which is very cult vibes.
I guess it kind of detaches you from the real world.
Yes, exactly, from reality. And so in this situation with this woman, it's like she ends up admitting, quote unquote, admitting that she really wants a demo being, let me play with your coochie in front of people, basically. And it's like she doesn't want that, but it's like someone's basically saying, no, that's not all you want, what else you want? And you're basically racking your brain thinking, what am I going to say to satisfy her? And she will not, this Nicole lady will not stop until you say what it is that she is satisfied with.
But this is all just bullshit. Like, just go the fuck home. Like, you're all having all these manipulations and stuff over rubbing clits. Like, are we fucking serious right now?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but this is the crux of this documentary. Like, I'm just like, are you fucking serious? Like, all of this is because you lots want to rub clits.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually mad. Like,
it's actually wild.
When you really get to the bottom of it, it's fucking mad. Like,
it's ridiculous. It's actually so dumb.
Like, this is all bullshit. Like, I don't know who I was talking to the other day about the whole Balenciaga thing with the like kids, blah blah. I don't know if you saw it.
The bags or something.
Yeah. And they're like, like, I hear it, but everything is just fake. It's all bullshit. And at first I was like, huh? And they were like, like, think about it. Yeah, everyone's complaining about this bag, but it's all just so performative because, like, you lot still endorse all these people who have done like horrific things, unthinkable things. You lot still, like, this is the crux you want to die on, but half of these like designers are problematic. You only want to die on this hill.
Everything is bullshit.
Yes,
I mean, with that one, it wasn't just the bags, it was like the books and stuff that were on it from some guy who was apparently fucked up or something like that. But then there's this girl who tried to say the same thing about Coach, the brand Coach, because they had like a collaboration with Disney, and then they had like they had like a Disney teddy bear thingies with like Coach bags or something. Someone was like, oh my god, after Balenciaga just got cancelled, I can't believe the Coach are doing the same thing. And it's all just fake outrage, because first of all, it's literally a Disney collab. Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? And also, like you said, like, are you really mad about shit happening, or is it just that you just want to be mad about this particular thing?
Literally,
when it's things that actually matter,
you guys are nowhere.
What are you saying?
It's all like, it's just like this stuff. Like, yeah, I hear it. It's peak. It's a bit manipulative, but like, what the fuck, man? Like, just go home. Like, all of this because of a clit. Like, fam.
It's just, do you know what? Yeah, the whole manipulation thing, and like, I don't believe that victims should be blamed, but I do think that they should take accountability in this situation, because like, I get being manipulated and stuff, but like, I don't know.
But like, the thing is, like, you want to go to a workshop to learn more about your body and all of that. Cool.
It's not there's nothing inherently wrong with that.
Yeah, but then you don't have to all live together. You chose to live together, and then you chose to like base deeper, all of your life's belief around this woman and what she says. And now you're coming to cry to me because she pushed you to say you wanted to see a woman come. Like, I'm so sorry, but like, my sympathy is capped at 5% at best. On a good day, and you caught me on a bad day, so it's 2% today.
It's crazy.
Like, F off, man. I'm sorry.
This lady, I was looking at her, I was like, why did you even agree to tell us about this?
You have no story. You know, at the end, like, they do say that they struggled to find a lot of people that wanted to speak out. So I think with this documentary, they just took what they could get. There was only one like active person who spoke that I was like, okay, this is a valid story. Everyone else, like,
is fucked.
You're trying to make yourself a victim when there wasn't victim.
I think that one was sitting on the bed, that one that talks about the pulling desires, she was trying to be the victim. The guy of color, I hate that phrase, but anyway, him, I don't know that he was trying to play victim, well, maybe in some portions, but it seemed like he literally was just like, oh yeah, this is what happened and I was a part of it and I'm going to tell my story kind of thing.
I beg.
He was annoying as well. Anyway, he's coming up soon. We'll get there.
So there were all these sales agents who encouraged you to sign up. And members were saying they latch onto people's pain and act as a solution. And I'm like, yeah, again, I fucking hear you, but that's what salespeople do. Like, if a salesman knocks on my door and he can see from like maybe the door I have that I don't have like a ring light, for example, if he has a ring light in his bag, he's going to sell that to me. Like,
yes, but what she's saying, obviously, because you're trying to sell something, but what she's saying, it's not like they're saying, oh, like, here, this is a sex workshop to make your sex life better. Like, do you want your sex life to be better? Here, have this thing. They're saying, okay, tell me about your life. And then you say, oh yeah, I really struggle to have sex, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, wow, imagine if you struggle to have sex your whole life. Imagine if you're with someone and like the relationship breaks up because you can't have sex.
But that's a sales tactic.
By the way, here's a solution. No, it is a sales tactic. I get it, yeah. But it's a more emotionally manipulative sales tactic.
I mean, I don't know. Again, like, let's all have our wits about us, because
we should ultimately, this should never have been a thing.
I don't look at this and think, oh my god, like that. Not to say I don't look at the whole setup and think it's a fucking red flag, but I'm picking apart this particular thing. I'm like, yeah, like, of course they're gonna sell you shit. Yeah, because
it's like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, they're trying to sell you shit. If they don't latch onto that one weakness you have and tell you that they can provide a solution, how are they going to sell it to you? Like, and for me, that's just the absolute truth of it. Like, it's like you seen somebody with wrinkles walking down the street and you have like an anti-wrinkle serum. Of course you're going to say to her, like, oh, do you want those wrinkles on forever, or this can really help get rid of them and you can look younger? Like, yeah. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that particular thing.
Yeah, I think really, like, Nicole there's not all, but most of my grievances with this whole thing lie with Nicole.
Oh, yeah.
And the way she does things.
100%.
Because these people could have been any other people and it might have been the same result. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, Nicole is the common whatever.
Yeah, nah, she's problematic as fuck. So, we see this footage as well of like an orgasmic.
Is this the orgasmic rebalancing?
Fam. And it's basically Nicole like screaming into someone's body. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like she'll go to,
she's like biting her biting I don't say her vagina because it's not her vagina. She's biting like her what's it called? The mons pubis, the fatty bit, the fupa. She's biting it.
She's biting it, she's screaming into her body.
Is everyone okay? Is everyone... Because even if you are lost in a sauce, and you have no idea what's going on, like, surely there comes a time when you say to yourself, okay, this is a lot. And someone biting my mons pubis, is the point at which I wake up.
Literally. Wake
That is
up.
when I wake
up. And they're saying this is an orgasmic rebalancing. Yeah. If anything, this is going to make me unbalanced. I will be unhinged after this. You're screaming your generational curses into me. Like, F off. F off. Did you see when one of your faves said to Meghan Markle that she's breaking generational curses?
Who? That doesn't make... But fam, I would
Beyonce.
sometimes I'm just like, Meghan, the whole Meghan Markle thing. I'm just like,
No,
babe,
that's
she married a white man, yeah, a real, like, she didn't like free the
that's
slaves.
the whole. Do you know what? I don't want to speak on it because it's kind of like when your kid does something at home, you don't chat about them in front of outsiders. That's how I feel. But I have a lot of opinions on the two of them. But it's not something I will say in front of.
Did you watch the documentary?
I didn't, but I caught clips and I caught Beyonce saying to her that you're breaking generational curses.
I saw that one on Twitter. I said, babes.
And I said, this is why I know this is why Beyonce does interviews very far and few in between. Because
I feel like maybe sing your songs. Sing your
she
songs,
can dance. baby can look good. But to speak is best she doesn't.
I don't know that she should, or act. I think there are some things. And the thing is, God gives us gifts and he gives some more than others. But sometimes...
Not all of us can be Jamie Foxx. Not all of us can be Jennifer Hudson.
He gave Jamie all the gifts and we can't all have them.
We can't have all of them. But that's okay.
It's okay.
The ones you can do,
to be
them
fair,
well.
To be fair to her though, she didn't say it to us. She said it to her and then she told us.
But they must have asked for her consent before they used that clip. And she must have thought, I'm really saying...
the way that they are, innit? Probably.
I'm really saying something. And then she said, yeah, for sure. Use that. You know how her voice is all deep and crunchy. Yeah, Megan, use that. Sis.
When I saw that, I was like, is Megan what? Anyway.
Beyonce, listen, you know what? If there's one thing you can do is sing. You got a good waist. That ass is sitting these days.
And you can dance.
And you can dance.
And I love that for you.
In heels, but please.
And you can arrange some music. You can do. And you can direct. So there's bare that you can do.
There's so much. So you don't have to do the ones you can't do. Like,
let's do that.
Anyways. So on-screen text tells us that public orgasm demonstrations were part of the OneTaste culture. And in order to raise money and gain publicity, Nicole invited venture capitalists and journalists to her own public orgasm demos. I was going to say pubic, but I mean,
same thing at this point.
That's what I was going to say. So we see footage of it and it looks like a cult because she's being fingered and like people are touching her like she's the Messiah, and there's this woman like with a snake. Yeah, like it's so weird. Do you remember, like, I don't know if you guys have read the Bible or something, but you know that woman who was bleeding, yeah, and then she touched Jesus'
she touched the hem of his garment.
Yeah. That's how all of them are moving on her sweaty naked body. Like they're touching. They're just like, if I just
a sweaty naked orgasming body,
slimy. But if I just touch her thigh, I'll be healed. Like,
and then they would say, I could feel the sensation and the spirit through.
That guy that said that, right, is the same guy that said that Nicole was trying to son him, but he was too white.
He's another. Have we got to him yet?
No, we haven't, but we'll get there.
Okay,
he's another one.
I have words for him, and I'm glad. I think we're on the same page with that one because I was like, brother, now you have all the chat. Back then, what were you saying?
What were you saying? You were sucking a tit.
What were you saying? Back up, dancer. You were
sucking a tit and clit.
Sucking a tit, rubbing the clit. That's what you were doing.
So okay, we're literally. My next note is this weirdo is saying, so basically they're having this demo and I couldn't understand the scenario of how it got to Nicole, like, and him in some sort of sexual, like, he was saying something about his partner didn't want to, I don't know. But anyways, Nicole is like doing a little something with him.
His name is Mike, by the way. Let's name and shame. Name and shame.
And then, like, he says that, and she puts my head on her chest and she's looking down at me and she's trying to stroke me. And in the midst of my orgasm, the little bit of my brain understood what she was trying to do. She was trying to make me her mommy. She was trying to son me.
You're trying to make yourself my mommy. I was like,
hun. And he was like, but I outsmarted her. Had I been a lesser person, I wouldn't have been able to.
I was like, you are the lesser person.
And I was like,
you are the lesser person.
For the fact that you're there already, you're the lesser person. Like, of all the things that were going on in this scenario you're talking about, right? Her putting your head on her chest was where you were like, aha.
That's where you said, oh, mummy.
And then
the thing is, it's like, even though now you're telling us, oh yeah, that's when I knew, oh, that I was the skeptical part of me was still alive, whatever, yeah, cool. But you remained there. It's not like you went from there and you walked out and you never were to be seen again. You remained there.
You went to Nicole's public demo and you were saying that you could feel her vibrate. That's it. How can you say you can feel the vibrations of somebody else's orgasm? And you want to tell me that there's a little bit of your brain that's still working?
That is, because the thing is that, like, if you come here like Chris, yeah, and you're saying, oh, I truly believed in this, and like I really believed, and 100% it is who I am, blah blah blah. Cool. I think you're dumb still, yeah, but like you are 100% in your dumbness, yeah, in your stupidity.
But don't try to make it out like you're smarter, but you're in.
Yeah, like don't come and piss on me and tell me it's raining. You literally, believed it, and now you're looking back in hindsight. In hindsight, you realised you were a dickhead. And now you're coming to tell us, oh yeah, I knew at the time. You didn't know at the time, and that's fine. It makes you stupid. But it makes you even more stupid, trying to act like, pretend like you knew.
How can you say you felt her orgasmic vibration? Literally, J. Cole literally told all of us, who you fuck, don't make me come. Like, he said it already. It's all out there. The information is out there. Like, go and read your book. It's there for you to learn and imbibe. Like, so how can you come out and say the opposite of what J. Cole has said? Are you okay?
How can you say that? How can you say that? And I, the viewer, I'm supposed to believe you, sir.
Do you know
don't insult
Jermaine
my
Lamar
intelligence.
Cole? Like, come on.
The Kendrick Lamar Cole. Kendrick, you know. The Jermaine Lamar Cole.
When is he releasing music again? Like, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, I wish him well, but I'm not really checking for his music these days.
Really?
Yeah, I'm off the bus, yeah.
It's a shame.
But it's fine. I wish him well. I'm glad his locks are growing.
Boy, are they growing. He looks homeless.
That's that mixed race hair.
That's that mixed race hair. Like, I want to show you that I've got some black in me. Like, let there be no confusion. Because those that want to be confused have like the Shamar Moore like cut. They're not trying
the waves.
Like, yeah.
They're waiting to know there's something in there.
But when they do the dreads, you know they want to let you know that.
Yeah, I'm black.
Yeah. So now we've learned that the movement has kind of started taking on male stroking. And you know what? This is a part that I really, really liked.
I think it was very necessary. Was it Chris that was saying it?
No, it was a different guy. It was a guy that was like 4'10".
Oh, Ken.
That guy.
He was 5 foot actually. Put some respect on his name. You took 2 inches from him. He was 5 foot. No, 5 foot.
On the dot.
On the dot.
That's frightening. But
I remember.
You just need to meet your own Dumbelina and then you lot will be good. Like, yeah. But you know what? To each their own.
I liked Ken.
I liked him.
And
but
his
it's
height
still
is not his
scary.
fault. But I liked him, yeah.
And it's not just because he's a guy. Even a woman, I would be like, oh, like, because imagine you're just chilling somewhere and next thing, like, someone's like tugging at your trouser
Stop
leg.
it. Stop.
No, you fucking stop it. I'm 5'9". That's my trouser leg.
You said tugging.
No, literally. And you look down, you're like, oh, like, it's a bit frightening. Like,
is it a rat?
Jump scare. Oh my God, I think this episode's gonna get us cancelled. I have said so many problematic things.
You know what? The listeners are not fucking with you, but it's fine. 2 girls.
Guys, I've missed the pod. That's why I'm letting it all out now. And I don't have Twitter anymore, so I just have to chat shit here. Like,
yeah, it's true.
Guys, I'm sorry. I hope you're laughing along with me and you haven't ended the episode.
If you haven't got to this point. Also, about the episode, can I just say, that we have more reviews now, more ratings now on Spotify than when we last left. I think we had like 45 or something before, and now we've got 61, which is edging ever closer to the 100 that I requested on our last episode, but it's fine. It's okay, it's fine.
Let's make it 69.
We'll do in honor of this episode.
Exactly.
Let's make it 69.
This episode is quickly turning into my dad wrote a porno. Like, so quickly.
It's because we miss it.
And they're not coming back.
But they said they're going to... I know, but they said that they hinted that they were doing something else, but I don't know what it is.
I know, but they should have done a final season. This is very bad the way they've left it. They didn't tell us in the last season.
It was going to be the last.
Yeah. And I knew that it was coming.
And Rocky's still writing, man. I know that guy's writing.
I knew it was going to be the last one because that girl has started doing a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, on Channel 4, innit? Alice.
Yeah, and like other podcasts. So I was like, she's probably going to be busy.
Okay. She's not going to have time
to be fair, it's good to leave when the praise is
on a high. Yeah.
I just think they should come back and do Christmas specials each year.
Yeah, I agree. But also, like, it's the kind of thing that you could actually re-listen to, because I don't know, I don't have a
I can't
flying
remember the plot.
clue.
I just
That's
know
what I'm
that she
saying.
came into interview one day. Next day she was
Into
naked.
pots and pans, steals pots and pans. They had sex,
And then
and after
somehow
that
the
it was
still
sex.
pots and pans is such a nah.
But she's had a great like career trajectory, from what I remember.
Honestly, she has. Like, she's earning like hundreds of thousands.
Big
I think.
bucks.
Yeah, she lives in
big
a
bucks.
flat in like, is it Mayfair or something?
Yeah.
No, she's doing well, and she drives a Jaguar. Jaguar's such a white man having a midlife
Right,
crisis.
or like 60s white man car.
I
Yeah,
remember
that
when I
goes
was
to play
looking
golf.
for cars, and then it was one of the recommended. And I was
Jaguar.
like, yeah, and I was like, because they're good cars, and I was like, yeah, like whatever as it may be, yeah, like this is still giving like 60-year-old man like going to play golf, like I'm having a midlife crisis. Like there's no fucking way I'm driving this.
I don't think the Jaguar's a midlife crisis. That is a very like, that is what they drive. I'm telling you, I've had this theory for years. Every time I'm on the motorway and we see a Jaguar, I will pull up, as in I will reach equal speed just so I can confirm my suspicions. I'm rarely wrong. Usually it is a man, at least if he's young, he's in his 60s.
Yeah, it's definitely an old white man car.
It is.
So they've started the male stroking, and it's all hush hush. And a former member, so Ken, okay,
Our 5-foot king.
our Thumbelina, he explains this really, really well. So he says,
You are rude. Did you say Thumbelina? No. It'd be Thumbelino, actually.
okay, no, Thumbelino,
Thumbelino.
not an Italian Thumbelina, but okay.
A woman stroking a man's penis brings up a whole bunch of cultural things that the reverse simply does not. What it means for a woman to be a sexual service provider and for a man to be in the position of being on the receiving end of sexual service providing. So like, you couldn't just have them reverse and say, now this is own. It ends up not being an own.
I think this is and this is the one thing that like they got right.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that men are gonna be stroked in this environment, because obviously like they're not gonna be paying to get finger cramps. Like, yeah, like it makes sense. But when a woman starts stroking a man, and then these men are paying like to come to these things, it then turns into something seedy, and that spiritual element of it is lost, and it becomes like just sex work. Whereas a man pleasuring a woman is still spiritual, because I don't know, I think there's very something spiritual about a woman's body. And
I think it's more so like that often women's, like literally the TikTok story told us about, women's sexual needs are not seen as primary.
Yeah, I agree
and
with
like
that.
A woman can have sex a million times and never orgasm.
Yeah.
Whereas a man, like, he knows he's done because he literally is guaranteed an orgasm as long as he finishes, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that it's more so like, okay, this is how to please a woman and like reach this kind of like sexual
like
spiritual.
I think if you're looking at it from educational purposes, like it makes more sense to have this around the woman female orgasm. But I was just saying, personally, to me, I also do agree that like I think there's something spiritual about like the woman's body. Like, we bring life, not to be like all like Erica Badu or whatever, but like we bring life into the world. Like, you give us something and it multiplies within us. So I get like that spiritual element they think that you can attach to like the female sexuality. And I also get that it's not as seedy and not as problematic having a workshop around men like pleasing women, whereas like the other
but if
way
men are
around.
literally paying literal thousands of pounds
to please a woman
to come, and most of the women who are going to be doing the stroking are like employees of them or whatever, it's not as if like women pay for the workshop, men pay for the workshop, and you take it in turns on each other to learn how to stroke and stuff like that. It's not that.
It's literally someone that works. Yeah, I agree. So like, oh god, it gets really problematic.
Oh my goodness, honestly.
Nicole is like, I
sit
just
down,
think, do you know what? Yeah, I just think this woman needs like a shit ton of therapy and to be off.
Do you ever think that someone's a lost cause?
I don't know. Yeah, I do think that. I don't know if she is. I don't know what help she'd received before she was given power.
But I don't know, like, honestly, like, if you don't believe that you need help, you're never going to seek it.
Yeah. So she says this really problematic thing.
If you want to know the real way to deflect rape, it's to turn on 100%. Because then there's nothing to rape.
And I'm not even, do you know what, yeah, I'm just going to say that's what she said, but I don't even want to discuss it because I'm sure all of us listening can understand that, like, this is fucking bullshit, and that rape is not about power. And no matter how even if you orgasm whilst you're being raped, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a violation of your consent. So
rape is about power, yeah.
Literally, so like me walking around with a wet pussy all day isn't going to take away from the fact that I didn't want to fuck you and you forced yourself on top of me. Like, so it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So
why does she believe these things?
Do you know what I think it is? I think, well, other than all her trauma that she... And we'll talk about that.
Cool. That's what I was hinting at. We'll get there.
Yeah. So Nicole's response to all her trauma. So basically the trauma she lists is her dad was a child molester. And she doesn't make it clear, like, on if he molests her. But what she says is that he used her as bait. Like, so he'd bait her into, like, bring these other kids. And then he'd molest them. But I think he must have molested her.
I think so, but she also said, I mean, she doesn't confirm or deny that. That's just us speculating, yeah. But she also says, like, my dad would have experiences with girls, and it's like, it's not experiences. It's my dad would abuse girls.
Yeah.
Like, what is this experiences? As if like, oh, we're two consenting adults and like we had a sexual experiences. That's not what it was.
And she says this later on as well about her dad, like. I didn't write it down, but she says like this thing where she's talking about like the dimensions of male sexuality, and she says that like, oh, that her dad, like, she changed the way she viewed him. Like, she stopped viewing him as a molester and just like somebody who had unlocked a fourth like dimension of his sexuality that was not like appropriate for the world he lived in. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And this is another thing about her. She just, because there's so much footage of her like talking and preaching and stuff, and she just says a lot of words. Like, she's not even saying, okay, so at one point, yeah, she says,
but we don't know how to move in the dynamic reality that occurs in between those poles.
But we don't know how to move in the dynamic reality that occurs in between those poles. Like, what are you saying? What are you actually saying?
And the thing is, yeah, if you are paying big money and you hear all this word like salad, yeah,
literally word salads,
you're gonna start thinking, you know what, this makes sense, even though you know it fucking makes nothing, like, no amount of sense.
Because how would you explain that to someone? That's how you know that you understand something. How can I, without using these words, explain or get someone else to understand what I'm saying? She can't do that, because she just takes words and she just puts them together, says it with confidence, and then cool, people believe it. They're eating at the palm of her hand. It doesn't make any sense.
So, oh god. So Nicole says that, and she also calls being a stripper trauma. I mean, obviously, I know that some strippers go through trauma in that line of work. But,
as do some accountants, as do some nurses, as do some whatever.
Girl. But if that's your trauma, fine. And she was also a cool girl. So she says that her like solution to all this trauma that she's experienced is to ohm it all out. Like, if you keep ohming, like having these orgasmic meditations, you're gonna be fine. Like, you will release it. And I release a lot during an orgasm, but I don't think it's trauma.
Not the trauma,
not the generational curses,
not the
Meghan Markle,
not the generational curses,
the royal family. Like, all that shit doesn't come out. Like, I don't know what this babe is on. So it gets weird because they're trying to turn this whole cult into like a religion. And they call it the magic circle, and they have these priests of Om, and the women are dressed like goddesses, wearing like face coverings and nothing below, and it's basically just an orgy. And I rate the financial element of this, because you say to someone, oh, I went to a religious ceremony, you know, a spiritual ceremony, and it doesn't sound bad, but really what you're going to is an orgy, and they're paying big money because you're adding in the spiritual element. I rate that. Because people do orgies all the time and they fuck for free. But these lot are
normally pay. You have to pay to go to orgies,
but not like this kind of money.
Yeah, but then this is not just an orgy though. This is workshops and video content and lifestyle.
I rate this this religion thing they started, because, and it all just shows that everybody's looking for something. And if all of you people prayed, you wouldn't be oming in a priestess's house, or you might be, but you wouldn't be telling yourself that it was a religion.
I'm sorry. Like, what constitutes a religion? Because I feel like we've covered way too many documentaries where like. What makes a religion? Like, what are the 5 things that have to be like fulfilled in order for it to be a religion? Because
Why
it just
don't we
seems
Google
too
it?
easy. Or a church. Why can anything just be a church? I don't understand it. Like, surely there must be something. There must be. Is there not a regulatory thing?
Board. If you're talking about true religion, it constitutes as jeans with white stitchings, but I guess not.
Say that again.
I said if you're talking about true religion,
okay,
it constitutes jeans with white stitching.
Okay. I can't believe that was a tie. Anyway, apple bottom jeans as well. I remember I had apple bottom jeans. I used to wear them to college. Do you remember?
No. Yeah.
They were so. My bum looked so good in them.
Listen,
Well,
I'm not mad
I don't
at
know
it.
where they are now.
How long do you think it'll be before they come back? And the white stitching jeans as well.
True religion? No, I don't think
Yeah.
they're coming back.
Okay.
Do they still sell them?
I'm sure they do. I saw
Let
someone
me
wearing them the
Google
other
it.
day.
Who?
Someone.
Do you know the person?
Yeah.
No. Who?
You have to bleep it out.
Of course I'll bleep it. Okay, well that makes sense. That
what?
demographic makes sense. I thought
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Kingsley.
No, come on. I'll never let him.
I would have got into him right away. Oh, they still sell. Their
Of
website
course
looks
they
like it's
do.
still in the 2000s though, man. Come on.
Of course they do. They still sell House of Darion. Like, of course they're going to sell. Nah. Someone said you people love Beyonce so much. Why don't you wear House of Darion?
Fam, I've seen that tweet. Wait, Ricky Straight Jean, $185.99. Stop
They
it
must be
right
having
now.
a fucking laugh, mate.
With their horseshoe logo. They need to relax.
Fuck off.
This-
So religion is the belief in and worshipping of a superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods. So anything I can
So
come out
anything
and
can
say
be a
I'm a
religion
god,
then.
and if you choose to worship me, hun,
Yeah.
then we got a
Oh,
religion.
speaking of which, we've got a documentary coming up actually that is going to put that into
Focus.
whatever.
Okay. So now we meet Rachel, who was head of sales, and
Sorry,
she's
I'm
very
still on
close.
this website. These jeans are so fucking ugly. Okay, I'm gonna come off. It's pissing me off. Okay, as we were. Sorry.
So we meet Rachel, who's head of sales, and she's very close to Nicole, and she was like her second.
They describe her as her enforcer. I was like, enforcer.
I didn't really understand what that meant.
I don't know what we enforcing. I don't know. I don't really get it.
Probably your madness. So this is the bit where things have been problematic, but yeah. So OneTaste employed a lot of people who were starting out their careers, and they weren't paying them, and salary bands kept shifting. So like that Asian guy.
Yeah, his
says-
name's Ruwan. And can we just
I
get
didn't
into
write
him?
his
Because we didn't go into him in depth before and we were cussing him. But basically, yeah, he is not a big money man, yeah, which is fair enough. He's very young at the time, yeah. He gets persuaded to sign up to, so he goes to a workshop. He's just trying to find himself or whatever. And he has no intention of buying a workshop, a plan or whatever. Because remember, thousands of dollars. This is not like I lost £100, fine, whatever.
Mate.
Thousands. House deposit money, yeah.
Mate.
So these lots, yeah, this guy goes blah blah blah. In his head he's like, yeah, I'm not buying anything, I just want to whatever. Anyway, the marketing team, the sales team, they do their job. They get him on a payment plan. So now this guy is paying out of pocket. Cool, whatever. He probably still on the payment plan at the time that he's employed by them and not getting
Wasn't
paid
they
by
just
them.
cancel the debt? Like, it's fucking
But then it's
wild.
like, because anyway, continue, because I was like, Roman, where is your family? Where are your friends?
So basically, they first start off telling him that he's going to get 20% of whatever the New York store makes, which was a shitload of money at the time.
Yeah,
Then
they were
when
making like 10-15k a week, the store, so
Literally.
he would have got 20% of that.
So when the store, when it comes down to it, they're like, oh no, it's 20% shared between all employees, which is like 6 people. And then it was like 20% of this and that, and he eventually it just was never clear what he was getting. And that's another way they trap you in these things, because if you're financially dependent on them, you're gonna stay within that cult, because
Yeah.
by the time you're leaving, you're thinking, how am I going to pay for rent? How am I going to do this?
Yeah, and if you're all living together, you're probably not paying for rent. Like, that's an expense. You're not paying for
Yeah.
bills. Like, you literally are just like living for
And
free.
fucking for free.
And fucking, yeah.
So it gets problematic because obviously they're employing all these people and they're basically telling them who to have sex with. So obviously, as you can
Mate.
imagine, people are paying for these workshops and then they need women there to demo these workshops. So sometimes these women are having sex with people that they don't want to, or they have this really weird culture where it was like you have an argument at work and they're like, oh yeah, you two go and fuck. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
if you're
it
not getting
out.
on, it's because you need to let go of the sexual energy between
Release
you.
your
Which
orgasm.
sometimes, like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes,
I agree.
Sometimes, do you know what I mean? Sometimes, but not in this situation. Not in this situation. And you, as my employer, should not be telling me the solution to a
fuck.
workplace incident is to have sex with
fuck.
somebody.
Yeah, no, that's
What? What are you saying? What are you doing? Like, I literally multiple times during this documentary, I was looking around like, am I the only one seeing
in
this?
the office? Like, where is the camera?
Where are the cameras? The cameras are fucking doing Ohm, fam. They're showing the Ohm demos.
Literally, they're doing the Ohm. So yeah, this is what they were told to do, and this is what they were doing. And then they did something called killing, which was basically like,
oh my god,
this was really bad.
Just like,
you standing like in the middle, and like this babe Nicole would be basically like going at you with all your insecurities,
ripping into
you.
And remember,
and
these lots do their research. They know what's gonna get you. It's not like, oh, haha, your edges are thin, or haha, you've got a gap in your tooth. No,
they're gonna tell
that.
you you've got a little dick. She was like, you're fat, you're overweight, you'll never find love, you don't know how to please a woman.
Exactly.
Like, it was brutal.
And he was just like, thank you.
Literally.
Is this humiliation kink? Is this what we're on?
Not the kink.
Like,
so people were encouraged to be psychologically brutal, and for women to appreciate the predatory nature of male sexuality. So
before we get into this, because this is fucked, yeah. Ruwan was basically like how one time they did it to someone, and like he was like, at the time he felt bad but he didn't say anything. So he basically is like, oh, it's not like I feel bad now looking back, but at the time I thought it was the right thing to do, right? He says to us, in the time it was happening, I felt bad but I didn't do anything. I was like, bro, why are you
telling us this?
Why did you tell us this?
What do you think it makes you look better? Like,
I was like, why did you tell us this? We wouldn't have known, we actually wouldn't have known.
No one's coming out to validate that. So why, like, you could have just kept
why
it
would
to
you
yourself.
say that?
I think we need to go back to the art of like keeping things to ourselves.
Yes,
it's
to
just
shame.
Like one day I saw this TikTok about like, oh, what's the wildest thing you've ever done, like, for someone you were talking to? And this guy's talking about how he went to go and pick up the guy that the girl was fucking.
Oh, I saw this.
And I'm just like, we need to go back to having shame. It's actually okay to have shame.
We're
like,
oversharing, and
if anything,
it's not right.
It's a very good attribute. Like, have some shame.
It's not right. It's not okay. Like,
people don't need to know everything.
We need, So there's this bit with Nicole, and it's like, at this point in the documentary, you already realise Nicole is a shit person, whether you think that it's her trauma or she's just a shit person. Bottom line, she's a shit person, And so there's this bit where we see the video because she's like, it's like a conference and there's bare people in the audience, and she makes this joke about making a t-shirt which says, I got raped and all I got was this victim story. And then she's like, or we can do another one that says, I raped someone and all I got was this perpetrator story. And it's like, the audience, you can tell, because it's kind of like a nervous laughter, like oh my god, I can't believe she said that kind of thing. But all you people are still there and still participating in this. Like,
nobody walked away. They all
I was
sat
like,
there.
is everybody? It's like almost like she's testing the waters. Like, things that she says get crazier and crazier, and people are like not leaving. It's like she's testing the boundaries and realizing I can actually do and say whatever I want, and people
no
are
one's
gonna
say shit. Yeah,
no one's gonna say anything. And then when you couple that with the whole like predatory thing and what's about to happen now, it's like, this is a crazy combination.
It's crazy. So we meet Autumn Blank, and she's basically speaking on behalf of her sister Aries Blank, and they were both raised in a really traumatic environment, so they had a lot of childhood trauma, and then her sister met Rachel, who told her that Omen cured her and could cure Aries, so her sister then joined this cult. Basically the long story short of this situation was, in this cult they forced her to sleep with a lot of men, and that wasn't what she wanted to do, and they kept telling her that it would own the trauma out of her, and she kept writing this journal to her sister, and there's this extract where she's saying that like her boyfriend hit her, and then what the people at OneTaste were saying to her, that it's her fault because her boyfriend was only doing what her body had asked for, and because her body like was used to childhood trauma, like being a DV survivor, it was her body's pattern, and it had asked her boyfriend like to hit her, and she needs to let him release the beast. So they kept using this thing, release the beast. And that release the beast was basically speaking around like men, like the predatory things men do, like so if a man hits you, or like if he rapes you,
if he's violent.
And then there's this other time where a community member tells her that he wants to rape her and beat her, and he knows where she sleeps, and he's gonna come find her. And she was like obviously distressed. And then after the session, she was reprimanded for showing fear, like, in her face. And they were basically like, a true turned on woman. What the fuck is a turned on woman? Like
and a
again,
true
like,
one. So what's a fake turned on woman?
Fam. And again, it's using words that we all use in a way that we do. Like, for me, if I say a turned on woman, I'm thinking, oh, like, she's sexually ready. But for them in this, it means so much. It means a state of
it's
mind.
your spiritually omen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why it's so dangerous, because it takes words that have a meaning before and so even when you leave, you now have to recalibrate your mind to think, oh, actually this means this. That is crazy. This is why you can have long lasting effects with stuff like this.
But these people, anyways, let me not speak.
Anyway.
So yeah, they said to her that a true turned on woman wouldn't have done that. Like, she would have accepted the man's words and helped his beast. So the article that other babe was writing,
how did it go from being a cult about helping women and like pleasing women and stuff and whatever to let's defend male sexual violence?
Honestly,
how did we get here?
Only God knows. So the article on OneTaste comes out, and it basically affects the brand. The CEO steps down, they stop doing in-person sessions, and they start doing stuff virtually. Mm-hmm. And then on-screen text tells us that in 2017, Nicole sold her stake in OneTaste for millions, and she moved abroad and hired a crisis communications publicist. Like, I don't know who was buying that shit for millions. Could you not see that it was on its way out?
She came out on top. Yeah, but it still exists though. It's called the Institute of Om now.
Yeah, it is. But like, anyways, you never know.
They have an app.
We learn FBI agents are now looking into OneTaste as the rape allegation of Aries Blank has been reported.
Yes,
and so
good.
Autumn tells us, like, Aries was raped by multiple people in her journal, and she says this thing that's really sad.
I never wanted to own with other people. I never wanted to have my body touched. It all was forced, and my body feels filled with shame and disgust. I remember being told not to go to the hospital, that all the shaking, the vomiting, the weightlessness, the sickness was just an orgasm. It was me alchemizing trauma and pain from when I was younger, that if I just stuck with it, I would ascend to my next level of awakening and freedom.
What the fuck are they talking about?
This is what I'm saying.
What do you mean telling me a vomit is an orgasm? Are you people stupid? Call me an ambulance.
Listen, it's actually, and this is what I'm saying, it's like Nicole is pushing further and further and further, descending into madness, and it's like she's looking around like, oh my god, like, these people believe me, like, and she goes crazy and they stay, like, Aries was able to leave, but imagine how difficult that would have been for her.
Yeah. So on-screen text tells us that multiple sources reported that men were recruited on Tinder to have sex with Autumn's sister to release her orgasm. Like, the concept of OneTaste, obviously.
Is everyone okay? I'm tired. Is everyone okay? Like,
so we're near the end of this documentary.
Thank God.
And OneTaste is still operating, as BD said. They have their own farm, and Nicole lives there. And they rebranded as the House of Om.
Institute.
Oh, it's not House of CB.
It's the House of Om.
Can I just say though, my problem with this documentary is what it really should have been about was everything we got shown in the last like 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. That's what this documentary should have been about, because it's so hard.
That's the danger. That's the crime.
It's so hard to not like joke this whole thing off, like laugh it all off, because you just think to yourself, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you fuckers like went to this thing to get your clits rubbed and now you're coming to cry. But really what was going on in this cult was extremely dangerous, and this documentary just didn't touch on it. Like the stuff, I think the stuff in the beginning was salacious and that's why they used it, but that could have been like a little bit, but there was so much more. Like Aries and Autumn's story could have made a big chunk of this documentary.
But I think, like you said before, loads of people didn't want to be in the documentary. So where we would have had maybe more stories like Aries and more situations like that, people didn't want to come out. And Aries herself didn't want to come out. It's her sister that came out for her.
Yeah.
So maybe other people's family weren't willing to do that, or weren't aware, or people didn't want to. It's like this happening to me. and me knowing that, okay, cool, I've gotten through this, I'm working through it, I'm surviving, and now I'm gonna put it on Netflix for people to see, and then you're gonna be like, rah, like, I mean, I guess maybe not you, because you probably would know because we're so close, but like just a random person or like a friend of a friend of a friend.
But they still showed her face. But I mean, I get it, and also
Yeah,
just
that's what I
because
mean.
you showed your face, it doesn't mean you want to talk. But then I guess they should have made the documentary shorter. It was just like when I got to this bit, I was like, I cannot believe they were sitting on this and they're telling me all about like people stroking clits. Like, yeah, that's all cool and stuff, but this is
and that's important to know in order to kind of like, it's like to kind of juxtapose it to what they're saying at the end of this, but it's like it didn't need to be all of that, basically.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that was the documentary. Now it's time for
The real crime, I think, was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. I have so many.
Okay, you go first then.
What about you? I thought you were gonna have loads. I was like, we could do a back and forth.
Do you know I forgot about this segment? It's been so long.
Okay, well, do your one first then, and then I'll go.
No, you go first. I'm still thinking of mine. I just
Oh,
told
you
I
are.
forgot,
Okay, that's fine.
this
Okay, I've
segment.
got enough for the both of us.
Okay.
So the first one is the frequent use of the word pussy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you take a shot for every time they said the word pussy, you would not have made it to 30 minutes. You would have been passed out, slumped,
And that word makes me
drank.
It makes me uncomfortable, like saying it.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Second, we have the warehouse. Forenz earlier mentioned that, they were all living together. 15 beds. 15 beds in a warehouse.
Is that not slavery? You
15
wouldn't look around
beds.
and think like we're actually slaves. Like, what's going on?
In a warehouse. Even in prison, they have different cells. You people, 15
You can't
beds.
fart without your next door
In a
bed neighbor knowing that you farted.
And it's not as if like, oh, it was just like, okay, this is the 15 bed set up for when they have their orgies, yeah? This is how you live. This is how you live.
Y'all living like this?
15 beds.
That's
okay.
wild.
Thirdly, Chris, our beloved Chris Cosley, had a "Bitches Love Me" t-shirt in one of the pictures, and the love was a heart. I said, sir, I'm all for you finding yourself and loving yourself.
But you found yourself a bit too much.
You need to unfind a little bit.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Let's reel it in.
Letters.
You got
pipe
way
down.
too much dip in your chip.
Yeah. And then lastly, they had a promotional video, the ones we spoke about the whole fingery situation, and they called it Project Goldfinger. I said, excuse me.
Not Austin Powers, child.
I said, excuse me. There was no need. There was no rhyme. There was no reason.
Need.
This was very wholly unnecessary. Yeah, we didn't have to do that. Yeah, we didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I fucking
Those
agree.
are all my crimes.
Yeah. I think you've done it for the both of us.
Thank you, because
the only one I was really going to say was Chris, because he looked like the guy from Little Britain, but I guess that's not really his fault.
That's not his fault.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say
and
it.
I didn't dislike him. Obviously, I disliked the t-shirt or whatever, but I didn't really dislike him.
No, I didn't dislike him.
And
he wasn't too victim-y, like, woe is me.
He wasn't victim-y. He literally was just like, this is what happened. And I liked it at the time, and now I'm not in it. I don't know that he would have left. I think that he probably was forced out because it got sold or whatever. I don't know that he would have made a conscious decision to leave.
I'm dead. He was like, yeah, I'm fucking bitches. This is great.
Literally, I'm fucking bitches. I'm not getting money, but I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to watch it, you can, because I mean, some of the things you're describing, like, unimaginable. So if you want to watch it, do your thing.
It's there. It's on Netflix. I'd recommend watching it because we described it well, but
I watched it 1.5 times. So
I did. Oh my god! Do you know what? Yeah. In fact, this is the crime for me. So I watched it on 1.5, and then I went to eat and came back. And you know when you come back, it resets, right?
Yeah.
So then it went to the normal thing, and Autumn Blank. She talks so fucking slow.
Okay.
Because when I put it on 1.5, I kept checking to see if it was on 1.5 because I was like, she sounds normal. Then when I took it off, I was like, nah, she actually talks how you imagine a tortoise to like walk.
Yeah. I'm telling you, and
so
you know what?
Slow.
I'm glad that you said this, because I'm starting to think that I have a problem. I watch everything on at least 1.3 YouTube videos, everything. I have like a what's that thing you can add on your browser? An add-on. There you go. Yeah. So and whenever there's a video that comes up, I can just do it. Yeah. So anytime I watch a YouTube video, I put it up. And I was watching one video one time, and this girl was talking, and I kept pressing it to increase it. I was on like 1.6, and I was like, she sounds normal. Like, she's talking a bit slow, but normal. I confirm it, and I had to keep checking. I was like,
when Autumn was talking, I checked like 6 times. There was even a point where I refreshed the browser. I was like, maybe like this thing is broken. And then I put it back and I was like, no, she actually just talks so fucking slow.
It's crazy.
And I only do it when I'm watching stuff for our podcast because I'm taking notes and I need to get through it, right? But ordinarily I don't do that, so I know I'm used to like watching people talk normally. So that's when I was like, nah, she actually talks abnormally slow. Like, this is ridiculous. Was my
and I'm here with you on that one, because sometimes like I know that I speak quickly, and I have to make a conscious, especially at work when I'm talking to patients, I have to make a conscious effort to slow down and say what I'm saying, because I know that I have a problem in that I speak really quickly, but sometimes I'm like, no, sometimes people speak too slowly, like I cannot keep up with you. Why are we still on this sentence,
mate? Absolutely too slowly.
I was like, what is happening? What is going through your mind when you speak that slowly? Like, is it that you are picking the letters from the alphabet tree in your mind to compile them to make this? I don't understand. I'm like, why don't you just have your phrase in your head ready to go? To go.
It's entirely too slow.
I was like, sis.
But yeah.
I also, Aries could have come from where she was and told us the story quicker than you.
Oh God.
But yeah, man. It's good to be back, man. I'm so glad. I'm glad that we're back. I'm glad that you're back.
Me too.
Next we are doing the hatchet wielding hitchhiker. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I'm happy you're leading on that one.
I was like, this is some fucking bullshit.
I watched it and I was like, I'm happy you're leading, because
this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit,
that's another one where it's white people in, but
anyway, we'll get into that. I'll play the trailer if you haven't seen it. You can watch the trailer. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it before. In the meantime, between time, you can find us everywhere at 2 Girls 1 Doc. We are especially on TikTok, Instagram, 2 Girls 1 Doc. Email 2girls1doc@gmail.com. You can send us recommendations, reviews, stuff you want us to cover, and all that good stuff. But yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hopefully by the end of this episode, on Spotify, we are on 69 likes. Or whatever it is.
Yeah. I thought you said we currently are, but no, hopefully we will be. 69, that's mighty fine. I just came up with that.
All right then,
Bye.
Have you heard about Kai, the hitchhiking hatchet hero?
This dude went from this heroic, beautiful person to wanted for murder.
An absolute bizarre scene here in West Fresno. A man plows his car into a PG&E worker, pinning him against his truck.
Two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. So I ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash.
Everyone around the world wanted a piece of this kid.
How do you know this guy?
The internet, man.
Is that really you? How did it make you feel, though, being this viral sensation?
I'm not a virus. I'm a sensation. I'm Kai.
Most people that are heroes are not homeless people. There was something funny about him and kind of cute and sweet and innocent.
He has such an endearing quality. There's so much charisma.
Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you've done, you deserve respect. Even if you make mistakes, you're worthwhile.
If you're going to glorify someone, you better know who you're glorifying.
Kai, the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker, he's been arrested for allegedly taking the life of a man in New Jersey.
There was no forced entry, but under the computer is a phone number with the name Lawrence Kai. Made you stop and think, could he be responsible for something like this?
Part of me wondered what actually happened that day in Fresno. Was this him being the hero or not?
Smash!
Hitting somebody in the head with a hatchet 3 times, blunt side or not, is violent.
Smash!
When it comes to a certain situation of pressure, you either become a diamond or you get crushed.
Smash!
How much water have you had today?
Let's all face our front.
Okay, I think that answers that question.